My guy, we back AFC North. I'm fascinated by this division this year. And I'm pumped to talk about it with you. It's good.
Sir.
How you feeling?
I feel good. Not many subtractions.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of teams made additions. I think two of these teams think it's up for grabs. A third is kind of, treading water, that being the Browns, trying to see what happens with Deshaun Watson. So it's like the Browns are treading water. The Bengals and the Ravens obviously made awesome moves to get better. And then you have the Steelers, who are the model of consistency year in and year out, but their quarterback room is Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, and Mason Rudolph.
Pretty rough.
Yeah, which I could understand if you actually say that's an upgrade from last year. Which is another thing it's hard to wrap my brain around. So it was an interesting division to prep for, and I was excited about it.
Yeah, it's always fun when you get to talk about a division in which a team either wins the Super Bowl or went to the Super Bowl. I think that's always really cool because...
And then they're not the favorite to win the division the next year.
They're not the favorite, yeah. Well, it actually, a lot of movement has caused that to happen. Like, the Bengals were the favorite. Actually, when the Browns first got Watson, they became the favorite. But then when all these allegations and all these reports came out, then the Bengals became the favorite. And then all of a sudden, it's like, yo, Ravens.
Money starts to come in.
Money starts coming in. A lot of professional bettors that I know out in Vegas. Professional bettors bet like two things when it comes to futures. They don't bet Super Bowl. They don't bet player props. They don't bet player props in the sense of like, oh, this guy's gonna lead the league in yards or MVPs. Like they don't bet those. They bet actual player props like over under 1,250 yards for Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
they'll bet those. They'll bet win totals for teams, and they'll bet divisions.
Get some good value. Favorite to win the division in this division is plus 170 on FanDuel, the Ravens.
Right. So a lot of money was coming in on the Ravens. That's why they became the favorite. And then you start digging into it. Like, we talked about it with the Super Bowl curse. Is that or is that not a real thing?
Mm-hmm.
It's all what you depend. History says in recent memory that's not really the case. But Bengals, young team, they overachieved. Regression, maybe, possibly, who knows. Ravens, fourth place schedule. That's something they haven't had in a very, very long time. Lamar, contract year now, is going to have a chip on his shoulder. 20-plus guys on IR. So there's a lot of things that led to this division becoming so interesting and why three different teams have been the favorite. And then that fourth team is, just the most popular fan base in the sport.
Yeah.
As far as anywhere the Steelers play, you see 20,000 terrible towels in the stands. They also made the playoffs last year.
They've also been like the most consistent team, one of the most consistent teams in the NFL over the course of
easily
the last.
And they're the biggest what if of a team that should have definitely had more than just 2 Super Bowls in the 2000s.
Yeah.
So it's a very fascinating division for me.
Yeah. Where do you want to start?
I want to start with addition. Now, there are some that are obvious. Obviously, if Deshaun Watson was going to play for a full season, to me, he's one of the 5 to 10 best quarterbacks in the league. It's a massive upgrade at the position. But I'm not going to use him in this example because I just don't know. Been talking about it all offseason. Anyone that puts any money or makes any picks on the Browns is just really, really ridiculous because it's just, you can't handicap it.
I also think the backup's not good enough.
Well, now you don't got Baker, too.
Well, I was just saying, assuming Baker wasn't even there, like, there are some quarterback situations, and again, I wouldn't even recommend doing this, or I probably wouldn't do it in general, but I would say there are some backup quarterback situations in the NFL that would leave me with more confidence than Jacoby Brissett in Cleveland, because I actually think the Cleveland roster is pretty talented. So can you give me a backup quarterback, like some of the better backup quarterbacks off the top of your head?
Tyrod Taylor.
That's he was a Brown.
Yeah.
Wow, full circle. Baker Mayfield took his starting job, and then he comes back, and he's the stopgap quarterback. That's interesting. I don't know if that moves the needle for me, but now that I am thinking about this, I'm probably struggling here. Anyway, I just feel like they could have shot a better shot with a better backup
I hear
quarterback.
what you're saying, yeah. And Tyrod only because you've been trolling me that he's going to be a Giants quarterback by week 4.
Matt Moore, is he still playing?
That's your boy, bro. That is your boy.
He played in a playoff game in the last 5 years.
So my addition, though, isn't Deshaun Watson. I was just talking about Deshaun Watson. Like, when I did NFC North with Allen, for subtractions, we didn't pick Devontae because it's like, no shit, everyone knows.
I did Joe Judge for the NFC East.
Right. Like, I wanted to have a little bit more fun. So, for me, I think the biggest addition, La'el Collins.
Yo.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Dude,
look.
It's good.
Still a top 10 tackle in the NFL. And he's going to just improve what was an absolutely terrible unit. They got to the Super Bowl in spite of their offensive line. So how many teams have we over the last few years have like built their teams through the offensive line, and that's what kind of got them to the Super Bowl? They got there in spite of one of the worst offensive lines in the league. They signed Collins, who look is probably not the Collins of Miami, Dallas,
yeah,
the early Zeke years, but still he's an extremely serviceable, still a top 10 tackle, and I think. That can do
Dude, he's still really good. He's only 29. Like, he just turned 29. He's still, like, really, really good. And also, like, tackles, they play into, like, their mid-30s at a high level, too. Like, Trent Williams just got – he's a 99 overall in Madden.
Yeah.
And, like, dude is, like,
a beast.
In his mid-30s. The thing that I love about this edition – and, I also had, like, a side note, like, Ted Karras.
Well, yeah, and also Alex Kappa.
In the sense of – think about what happened to the Bengals, like you said, right? Like, they got to the Super Bowl in spite of their offensive line, and then they saw, like, holy shit, Burrow's gonna die back there.
He almost died in the Titans game.
Almost died in the Titans game. We thought his knee blew out
in the Super Bowl.
We're like, damn, son, this is gonna be a bummer to like. This game.
Let's cash our bets out now.
Yeah.
With the green button. With the green button ready, man.
But yo, check this out, right? Don't you see some comparisons between what the Chiefs did last offseason and what the Bengals did this offseason?
Yeah, big moves on the O-line.
Big moves. The Chiefs definitely made bigger moves, like bigger name moves. But, like, La'el Collins is a pretty big name. But I'm talking about, like, just the concept of, this was our downfall in the Super Bowl. We got a stud at quarterback. Let's protect them.
Yep.
Let's just, this whole offseason, like, fuck the weapons. We're good there. Defense is going to improve. We need to protect this guy.
I like it.
And the collection of those offensive linemen that they're bringing in, to me, is the biggest addition in this division. Dude, it might even be the biggest addition across, like, the
football
league, too, bro.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking at the Bengals and now they got a good offensive line, it's hard to not expect them. That could be a counter to what I've been saying about Cincinnati regressing. That the offensive line, now they got there in spite of them. Now they improve it.
And they signed 3. So even if one goes down, you still got 2. I know it sounds ridiculous, but these guys go down left and right. I can give you an honorable mention since we both had the same one.
Yeah, good.
Marcus Williams.
Ooh, I like that. I had another honorable mention, too, in the event that...
Top 10 safety. He creates hella turnovers. Ravens secondary is elite.
Dude, you just said hella.
I did. Sick.
Mad West Coast, bro.
Sick. No, I mean, I just think that secondary is great. Kyle Hamilton, they drafted in the first round.
Best in the league?
I think Miami. I think they have 2 top. They got 1 top 5 corner, another top 10 corner, one of the best young safeties in Holland.
He also shot his shot at a Bella Danger.
And good for him, my man. I'm just saying, I think that's.
Yeah.
But the Ravens are, arguably right up there.
Humphreys, Peters, Kyle Hamilton coming in too.
So, but again, 5-year, $70 million contract. 15 interceptions since 2017, 40 pass deflections, 15 picks and 40 pass deflections since 2017. I think coaches, executives, players voted him. There was like an ESPN. They ranked him 8th in safeties in the NFL. So,
where's Jamal Adams on that list? 88th?
Okay, give me some. Man, we turned that into, I don't even know what we turned that into.
No matter what it was still the right
We turned that into Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, but it was still the right decision. Like,
Yeah.
You're not paying a safety that much money, and especially one like him.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you just...
Yeah. So, that's an honorable mention.
I also wanted to mention just Amari Cooper.
May not make as big of an impact this right now, but maybe in the long run.
Yeah. Everywhere he's gone, he's helped the quarterback improve.
That's fair.
So even if it was going to be Baker at first, before all this stuff went down, and then now with Watson, at least Watson was going to step in and like, because Landry isn't there either anymore. So like,
Yeah.
so I think Cooper is interesting as well. Subtraction for me, staying with the wide receiver might be a little hypocritical because I was never a fan of his. But I believe in chemistry between quarterback and wide receiver. And I think Hollywood
Davis
Brown,
Mills and Brandon Cooks? Oh, I don't know why.
Yeah.
What happened?
Chemistry. Yo, you're all right, bro?
That's in the wrong division,
Wrong
too.
division. Like, they're still together, too, dude. God damn, man. You rattled.
Yeah, I need more coffee. Davis Mills.
You mentioned Davis Mills with the passing yards before.
That's what I'm...
Yo, shout out to Davis Mills.
Yo,
man.
I wonder what Davis Mills to lead the league in... I did say 50-1, right?
Yeah. Yo, so Hollywood Brown, not Brandon Cooks. That was so good. I'm not editing this out either. This is good. This is going to get played back. All right. Hollywood Brown, right? All kidding aside. He doesn't do it for me. He never did it for me. But when he got traded, Lamar was like, yo, what the... Like, he actually tweeted out, like, WTF, I think it was. Or it had to be, like, the angry emoji or some shit.
But so you wanted out.
Yeah. But also, like, he helped. He was the only deep threat that they had. He was the only one that, like, kind of had a good chemistry with Lamar outside of Mark Andrews.
But let me say this. To be fair, the Ravens' scheme is so messy. There's a million subs. Like, the number 2 receiver on the Ravens played like 60% of the snaps. Hollywood Brown probably played, I think, 90-something% of the snaps, something like that. But then the next receiver, it was just a drop-off. They go 3 tight ends, 2 fullbacks, a running back. Like, they have the most batshit crazy kind of formations and shit. And I think that has something to do with it, though. I will say. And just the way that they operate their offense. Sorry to interject, but...
Oh, that's fine. He's coming off a 1,000-yard season.
Okay.
His first of his career, though 1,008 yards. He was just like, they just had a connection. Like, he was the guy that would stretch the field for them, like I said. And I think for a team that kind of lacks speed, like, yo, it's right now it's Rashad Bateman and then Duvernay as like their 1-2.
Yeah.
For as good as Mark Andrews is, like, and for as hyped as we were before about Lamar and all this shit and him not getting paid and all that, and as a Ravens backer, I want to be invested in them, and I'm going to be invested in them too. I'm also not excited at who he's throwing to. So, and now you don't even have a Hollywood Brown out there. I think that's a big loss for them, dude.
Yeah. I'm higher on Bateman, and I'm going to talk about him in a little bit, so.
Give me your subtraction.
It's Baker Mayfield. And the reason I say that is because if the whole Deshaun Watson thing didn't happen this offseason, like, if they just waited, if the Browns waited it out, with a healthy Baker Mayfield, I think the Browns could have made the playoffs this year. Don't you? No way?
It's hard because of that.
They're almost even money to make the playoffs with Jacoby Brissett right now. And you're telling me with a healthy Baker Mayfield fired up.
Yeah, but hold on. That's not confirmed that Watson is going to miss the whole year, though. Right now, the expectation is 6 to 8 games.
So if he is expected to miss the whole season, what do you think that number jumps to?
I don't think it would be even odds. I think the Browns become a team that would compete with, like, they'd be like a 5-win team.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Okay. No, that's
Watson is special.
I I do think some of that is baked in. That I don't know.
So it's weird, man, because the win total is a big indicator for me. Remember the year that Andrew Luck, no one saw him throw, and there was that report. If you remember, this is way back. He had the shoulder issue.
Yes.
And he hadn't thrown a football, and it was like middle of June. And then he threw like a Nerf ball, and people saw him like wincing.
Shucks, guys.
Yeah. And it was like reports like, oh my God, he hasn't even thrown a real football yet.
I've been throwing a football my whole life.
And then he shows up to camp.
Hey,
and
guys.
Then he starts slinging the ball all over the place, and the win total went up one full game.
This thing I've been throwing my whole life, I could throw it all day. Come on,
skinny
come on, guys. I'm just happy to not be playing football anymore, guys. That's a terrible Andrew Luck impression.
It is pretty bad, but you were enjoying yourself, so I'll let you have that. At least you didn't do a David Smills impersonation.
With his big, long ass neck. I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember that.
But yeah, Baker, I think. Look, man, Baker brought stability to them too, dude. There's a team that had so many names on that jersey, that iconic jersey, of the amount of quarterbacks that they had.
If he doesn't force himself on the field last year, I wondered what happens. I wonder if he just said, you know what, I'm not going to try to tough this out. Because I think ultimately that's what it came down to. It's him saying, I want to play, I want to show my toughness, I want to be a leader, XYZ. You know, there were rumblings of them maybe parting ways in the offseason anyway, and I think he just played terribly. You got guys' dads complaining about him. You know, it's like
that was right.
When you got multiple dads complaining about the quarterback, obviously there's something wrong, and he's probably hurt. But I think with that running game, I think the roster is talented as a whole. I'm looking at the division like, which player not being there anymore is going to affect the team the most? To me, it's Baker. He's a quarterback. Swap Jacoby Brissett and a healthy Baker Mayfield, the Browns, the total is completely different. So, to me, that's why I just say it's him, despite, regardless of what happens to the team. Call me crazy.
Any love to your boy Uzoma?
I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited about him joining the Jets. It'll be good for a young quarterback, right? Pacifier for babies. A tight end's like a pacifier for quarterbacks. That's Chris Collinsworth in Madden, if you didn't know. I don't think that's a big loss. Do you? You got 3 Pro Bowl caliber receivers.
Nah, I don't think it's a big loss. I was trying to think of, we were talking
that's
about
what
before,
I'm
subtractions. Is Big Ben a subtraction? From
addition.
A name standpoint.
No, that's an addition.
Yeah, he hasn't really performed that well for him to be that impactful of a subtraction.
Dude, like I said, 2.
Deontay Johnson in fantasy. What are you doing with him?
His value slightly goes up.
Does it?
I think so.
Or how much of his value was Big Ben just dumping balls off to him 3 yards?
Well, I think now he'll be able to run down the field. They couldn't throw anything over 20 yards.
I feel like that applies more for Chase Claypool than it does for Deontay. I think Claypool benefits the most for a new quarterback in Pittsburgh than Deontay does. Because Deontay was catching 12 to 13 passes a game sometimes.
But I think that was just by necessity because they couldn't.
Right, so why couldn't they get the ball to Claypool then?
Short?
Yeah, because Deontay's skill set is short underneath the AB stuff.
But do you think there's untapped potential there with him down the field? They were so limited.
Sure, there could be. We haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Whereas Claypool, we saw those field stretching.
Yeah, plays. I mean Navy. It's Ben's guys, we can only have one guy go deep at a time because I can barely reach the first guy.
Yeah.
So let's not fool anybody. I'm probably not going to throw it to you anyway.
Big Ben would have one, he used the old, remember Chad Pennington? Your boy? That was your boy.
Yo.
Chad Pennington would throw one deep bomb, first drive, done for the rest of the game.
It was cooked, right? A starting pitcher?
Wrap. It was a wrap.
Okay.
Let me give you one more subtraction.
Okay.
He retired, Stephon Tuitt.
Yes.
On the defensive line.
Danny's been calling his name not calling his name, but
he's like, yo, the unsung hero of the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Like, all these years, just stable, just professional. Didn't care about stats. It's going to be a big loss for that Steelers defense.